All right. Okay. Huh. 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 Huh.
Yep.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
Hey! You stop touching you!
Oh no!
Hey! You stop touching you. Hey! You stop touching you.
No!
Hey! You stop touching you. Hey, you stop touching you.
Oh no!
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
All right. Okay. Ha. 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 Okay. Ha. 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 Ow. Ha. Oh. Oh. Oh, hey.
Well, you backed up.
The Pineapple was the 8th level to be conceptualized, and the third home-oriented level at the time of its development. Just like Patrick and Squidward, I had to not only give the players something valuable to find, but also introduce an enemy that would be a reference from the show. Thus, the doodles were brought to the horror genre. Doodle Bob and Squid Drawing were from episodes like Frankendoodle and Doodle Dimension, while Doodle Patrick was from Drawn to Life SpongeBob SquarePants edition. Ironically enough, the relationship between the Doodles reflects SpongeBob and Patrick's from the mid-seasons, whereas Patrick was abusive and SpongeBob would most likely accept the abuse.
However, I didn't necessarily agree that their presence within the pineapple, let alone the story, was required. In response, Padre had convinced me to include them when he decided they would serve as a secondary antagonist within the game. When I designed the pineapple, I was able to keep that feel that you were still in the pineapple and not in some sort of mansion, by creating a sort of illusion when looking outside and seeing the same scenery downstairs and upstairs by duplicating the objects outside and making it seem like you were still seeing it from the same perspective. Once I finally nailed the design of the house, I moved on to the doodles. These scum were pretty interesting to design, with them being 2D characters instead of 3D like usual. The mechanics for these characters had to work just right. I didn't want to have two roaming enemies in such a small space, So I made Doodle Bob the only mobile threat in the house, and Doodle Patrick as an ambush type enemy. We don't talk about squid drawing though, that sad sap's only good for spawning Doodle Bob in the right places, and ending chases quickly.
Dave ran into a few problems while bringing these doodles to life. For instance, Doodlebob was going to run to the player's location when squid drawing was stepped on, but due to a lack of technical know-how, and Dave being generally stupid...
What'd you say about me?
Cut that out. We instead favored the idea of an instant teleport, which would, in turn, reset his patrol. This soft reset would go on to aid players with their escape if they were caught.
Doodle Patrick is easily one of the more challenging enemies you'll encounter in the base game. Due to his unpredictable ceiling teleportation, we had to notify players of all trap points he could rest at. Safe to say that was a good decision between the both of us. This level is the hardest out of the three that were featured in the private demo, causing some to rage quit out of spite. I decided to reel back on Doodlebob's speed a little bit and push his end chase spawn back into the study to make the level a little more fair for those who were struggling. We knew our limits when adding a sense of challenge to each level.
In other words, we had to think like a Sabali in order to tone down the difficulty curves of future levels. Not throwing shade on Omar. We like you, my dude. We like you.
Nah, not really.
The monuments are 7th level to come to life, a part of the quartet of protagonists' home-oriented levels. While Squidward's precious valuables were pretty obvious choices, based on references from the show, the level's enemy was a treat for some and a disappointment for others. Feeling as if the sea bear appears enough in the show, it was up to me to shine the spotlight on a character who had only appeared once in an in-episode portrait, and in Operation Krabby Patty as an enemy, and a personal favorite of mine, Big Lenny.
Yeah, Big Lenny was an interesting pick. When I didn't think he was going to reference as a full-on enemy, at the time, all of our previous enemies were given sharp edges and polygonal appearances, which matches my simplistic style seen in my other games. Padre convinced me to try rounded, more detailed edges and vertices for, a creepier, more menacing characters such as Big Lenny. And from here, we began designing the interior of Squidward's monument, even featuring an elevator that only appeared in a few episodes, which in turn helped a lot of players.
Originally, Big Lenny was a lot like what Doodlebob would have been, a very fast enemy if you had been spotted, but we scrapped this idea of pure stealth in favor of a slower, mid-range foe. However, it was too easy to escape Big Lenny's clutches because every single item felt as light as a feather. A clever solution was to bring you to a crawl by disabling sprinting on certain items, and we had gone as far as to disable the elevator on the last item.
In the private demo, Big Lenny became a very unpredictable threat to some, and idiotic jellyfish to others. It was because of these tests that we couldn't really mess with his difficulty all that much, making the level pretty average between the time it takes to beat the level, how often a player would die, and how scary it could potentially be.
Yeah, these were a few factors that contributed to the labeling of difficulty settings for the average baseline playthrough of such a level.